folks. Well, tonight's Periscope was my real ale tasting that I always do around about this time. It was Sky Gold, which is made from porridge oats, believe it or not. So this scored an average, a very average 5 out of 10 on the ratometer. It was okay, nothing special. As I said, made from porridge oats, a rather unusual ale, 4.3. The taste was okay, just wasn't quite as crisp as what I normally like, and it was a little bit dark for a golden ale, but it was okay, man. So it's a 5 out of 10 for the Sky Gold. Thank you. Now, while we're here, folks, I'm getting a little bit worried about my fingers. It started off just with a. I mean, I've got arthritis in my hands. Okay, fair enough, but the skin started to peel off along here pretty badly last week, and I thought I got it sort of sorted with hand cream and that, but then it started peeling underneath as well, and now it started peeling on my thumb. My God, folks, have I got leprosy or something? What's going on? Is that a part of the arthritis thing? I mean, I do have a little bit of psoriasis on my finger there. That's just part of the arthritis, so the doctor told me as well. I've got a big bump on my finger. It's really sore down here. But I'm getting a bit concerned about this. The skin starting to peel off me. My God, man, what happens if one day I just peel it and it comes off? I don't know. I'll need to check it on Dr. Google, see what he says about it. But yeah, it's just slightly concerning how my hands seem to be getting a little bit peeling. It's worrying. Is it worrying? I don't know. Should I be worried? It seems to be okay. It seems to be recovering, but just when I went through that little phase last week of it all. Anyway, sorry about that. And tonight's tea, folks, I have made my usual homemade pizza. I'll get in. That's what it looked like before. Now, folks, as you know, sometimes I come up with astoundingly great ideas, but other times I come up with some stupid, silly suggestions, and you know how I am. But this one, folks, I think might either be the stupidest or the most brainiest. It could be the combination, an amalgamation of stupid and sheer genius together. I don't know what this is going to be, folks, but why can't we have see-through tin foil? Now, see-through tin foil will be excellent because, you know, right, I'm on my way to wrap up the rest of this pepperami, okay? Now, I'll put this in the fridge and I'll forget what it is. And so I'll have to open it up. And, you know, it's like when you open things up and you don't know what they are and you go, oh, I'll just throw it away. When it's actually probably got another couple of days use on it. And what I used to do actually was actually write on here with a Sharpie pen what was in it. So I'd write down pepperami and the date of its expiry. But wouldn't it be a lot easier if we could just have see-through tin foil, folks? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you another great jag idea. Is it possible? I don't know. See-through tin foil. Who knows? Maybe in the future. But there you go. Thank you. Right, folks, tonight we're going to be taking apart one of these drumsticks. I mean, they're rubbish. They really are. But we're going to go see what makes them boom. There's obviously got to be some sort of sound pad. Oh. A couple of screws. Oops. Yeah, these were very disappointing when I bought them. I thought they were going to be actually quite good, but no, they were rubbish. That's not coming out. Just intrigued to see what makes them. Right. Why is it not coming out? We have to undo the battery screw as well. There we go. Oh. Coming apart. Consuming this bit here. Has to maybe come off. Oh, there we go. Right, you've snapped it right off. Still working. There we go. It's still making a noise. Come on. Hang on. Right, folks, you can see half of me now. So this is where we've got to just now. So, what is it? Right. Let's get this back here. Oh, crikey. Right, it's this bit here that's causing a problem. Wait till I get my something to finish it on. So I'll screw. Oh, there we go. Right. So let's see what's been causing the noise. Right. So I've opened the thing up. We have a speaker, and then this. So Grandad. That is what we have inside those drumsticks. That's obviously the speaker. That's where the batteries go. And then we have this bit here. So it's obviously a simple circuit board with one of those things. Is that resistor, Grandad? I don't know. There's your on-off switch. Oh, there we go. And also, Grandad, there is, let's have a look. Doesn't glow in the dark very well, does it? Very good morning, everybody. Today's album in Jag's Top 20 is Jehovah Kill by Julian Cope. Now, this followed on from his highly successful album Peggy Suicide, which brought Julian Cope back into the mainstream. Now, for those of you who don't know, Julian Cope was a very successful and eccentric artist with the Teardrop Explodes back in the late 70s and the early 80s. They had Reward, Treason and Passionate Friend. That was their three main hits. Then they lost the plot. Julian Cope was a complete acid head, but he was a truly talented songwriter and performer, and just one of these guys that is a genius and is born to entertain. Now, he was in the wilderness for years and years, but then he came back in about 1990 with Peggy Suicide, after a few failed albums. Well, failed albums, they say, but in my eyes, they're both classics. They had World Shut Your Mouth. Remember that? World, shut your mouth, put your head back in the clouds and shut your mouth. Okay, and Fried, two total acid fried albums, but they were classics as well. Anyway, he came back in 1990 with Peggy Suicide, which was absolutely astounding album, but this followed it, Jehovah Kill, and in my opinion, this is a slightly better album. It's got some fantastic tracks on it. He was quite inspired and quite inspired by German krautrock, and there's a couple of tracks on here which are totally absolute prog rock steamers, man. Absolutely wonderful. Lots of acoustic-y, guitar-y kind of weird stuff. He doesn't write anything that's the norm. You know, there's not a single pop song on this. It's all different. There's a wonderful song on here called Upwards at 45 Degrees, which I think is probably one of my favourite Julian Cope tracks. He's right into Earth heritage, you know, Mother Earth, and he's now got his own sort of republic and his own little land area, and he's got his own people with him and everything. It's a fantastic story. You really should read his book. His autobiography is called Head On, and then there's another one that follows that, Repossessed. They're both fantastic tomes. I read them at least once a year. They are brilliant. They make you laugh. The guy is seriously underrated. Julian Cope, do check him out. But this is Jehovah Kill. It's full of I keep saying fantastic. That's my word of the day. Fantastic tunes. Even though it's not pop, it's a different sort of culture. It's just absolutely wonderful. I love it. So there we go, folks. Jehovah Kill. I give you, ladies and gentlemen, this brilliant album from 1992. Now, I actually went to see Julian Cope live twice. I saw him with his 20 Mothers tour, and I also saw him on this Jehovah Kill tour. and it was brilliant, absolutely wonderful. That was at the Glasgow Playhouse, not the Playhouse, the Barrowlands. Absolutely wonderful gig, and that was in 1995. I saw one of those. That must have been the Jehovah Kill, was it? That was Jehovah Kill was 1992, and then 20 Mothers was 1995. Now in 1995, folks, once again, some shenanigans, some drug shenanigans from your favourite vlogger. I took my very first ecstasy tablet. Yes, I did, and I went to see Julian Cope live, and it was coming on, and it was. I stood there with my mate Dougie, who we went with at the time. We just looked at each other and smiled and just started dancing around, and I think everybody else was on them as well. And it was just a truly wonderful night, I must say. Thank you, Julian Cope, and thank you, MDMA. Wonderful. Now here at work today, folks, where I've got something very healthy for my 2 o'clock break. We have banana on a roll, a bran roll no less. Going very healthy in my old age. Now you remember a few months ago I was doing my my exam for the personal license, so I can sell alcohol. Ta-da! It has arrived. Yes, indeed, there it is, folks. I am now a licensee holder, so I can run a pub, or I can hold outdoor events. Maybe we should have an outdoor tent with a stage in the back of my garden, and we can have the Jag Fest. The Jag Fest with headliner, well, obviously me, and a few other local bands. Yeah, great idea. Maybe next summer, Jag Fest. Right, folks, I've had to come into the ferry as they call it here, because I need hair gel. There's only one shop that sells the hair gel that I need. It's called Dax Firm and Light or something, I don't know. That's the only gel or wax that will actually keep my hair under control. I know, eh? Right, so hope it's not going to rain, man. No disaster. They didn't have it in stock, folks, so I had to settle for Derma 10 wax. Will it be the same? I don't know. We just have to try and find out. But Stronghold with slick finish. So they don't stock it anymore. What am I going to do, folks? No. Oh well. Grande, look what we got.